Hi, this is Nancy Panuccio, and today we're going to talk about researching the market. Okay, so you have your story, and you've edited it, you've revised it, you've gotten feedback, you've revised it some more. You have the tightest, best story that you know how to create. So now it's time to get it, submit it to magazines and try to get it published. And the first step in this is to research the market. So it's important to spend a lot of time in this phase of the submission process and to constantly be researching the market and getting your finger on the pulse of what is getting published, what types of stories are getting published, where they're getting published, and so on. Okay, so if you're just getting started and you don't know where to begin, okay, you don't know where to even start looking what magazines to start targeting or submitting to, what I suggest that you do is pick up a couple of anthologies, and one of the best is the Best American Short Stories. And in here you're going to find some great stories, and find the stories that really grab you, have a good read, and see where these stories are coming from. Okay, so like for instance, you'll find work from the New Yorker and Granta and Plowshares and so on. But you'll find out, what magazines are publishing. There may be some that you've never heard of before. I mean, obviously you've heard of the New Yorker, but there are plenty more that you may not have heard of, and they're all possible markets for your work. The second anthology I suggest is the Pushcart Prize Best of the Small Presses. Again, you'll find a ton of different magazines that you may never have considered before for your work. Okay, so you'll start to get more familiar with which magazines are publishing and what they're publishing. Next, I suggest you get the Novel and Short Story Writers Market. This is a great resource because it has a listing of the small presses, the smaller circulation magazines, the literary magazines, the consumer market. It's a very extensive listing of markets for your work. And what you'll get in here are the guidelines, the publisher's guidelines. They will tell you what they want. They'll tell you who to contact, what their needs are. Maybe they want adventure and graphic novels, erotica. I mean, you'll get a sense of, if you're writing that type of work, those types of stories, you will find a home for it by looking at these guidelines and seeing what the editors are asking for. So in the next video, we're going to surf the web together, and I'm going to show you two of my favorite online market listings, and I'm going to show you how you can drill down to maybe the 15 or 20 magazines or journals that are the best fit for your work based on your criteria. And I'm also going to give you some things to think about when you're reading these magazines as you explore these magazines deeper. I'm going to give you some questions to ask yourself as you're reading, so that you can really narrow down to the best, the ideal magazines for that are potential markets for your work. So in the meantime, get a copy of the Best American Short Stories, the Pushcart Prize Best of the Small Presses. These are updated every year. They come out every year. And just go to the bookstore and grab a couple copies, sit down, make yourself comfortable, and start reading. And look for the stories where you feel most pulled into, and see where they were published. What magazines did these stories come from? And start to make a list of different magazines. And then get a copy of the Novel and Short Story Writers Market. Again, this is updated every year. And have a look through that, and look through the guidelines, and get a sense of what editors want. They will be very specific about what they want. Now, what's great about the Novel and Short Story Writers Market is it's a wonderful resource, not only for the guidelines, but it also has listings for conferences and writers contests and literary agents. It has great articles and interviews with editors of the very magazines that you may be targeting, and you'll get some great insight there. So have a great read, and I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye.